This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm going to do a prediction video about Edwin Rodriguez versus Andre Ward. And, before I jump into the prediction video, bear with me. I really want to talk about the weigh-in, and I don't just want to talk about the weigh-in. There's actually something that I want to point out as far as controversy in the weigh-in. Now, they came in, Andre Ward came in and weighed in just like he should. He made weight. Edwin Rodriguez came in 2 pounds overweight. So they stripped the title shot away from him. The fight is still going to continue, but it won't be for the super middleweight title. Now, this does not seem like a strategic weight miss. It doesn't seem like he missed weight, trying to be the heavier guy, is willing to pay the fine and just whatever, I just want to win type thing. It really seemed like he tried to make weight. He looked drained. He looked exhausted. And it just seemed like he had no more, fluids to lose. Now, a lot of people have been pointing out that this is a problem, and it is. There's been a lot of young fighters that are having a problem making weight. A lot of the fighters that we know today have had a lot of problems at a young age. Adrian Broner recently has had problems with making weight. Canelo is another fighter, another young fighter who has problems or has had problems making weight. So this is something that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., one of the most recent fighters, to not make weight and do it in a probably the most embarrassing fashion, just completely didn't care. And so anyways, this just highlights the issue that has been going on in boxing for a while. But regardless, even though that is a problem, I think there's something else that we need to highlight. And if you guys seen the weigh-in, did anybody notice how small the stage was? I mean, for most people that follow boxing and that know about Andre Ward, even if they just know a little bit, they know that, at least it's common knowledge that he is regarded as one of the best boxers out there now. I don't feel like he's being promoted as such. His promotional company is garbage. Goossen Tutor Promotions is not doing their job. This stage, this small little stage that they had, I don't see much talk about the fight. I mean, he's not really known. I always have to, I have friends that follow, boxing, only to a certain extent, because I try to give them information. I always have to try every time I meet somebody that is interested in watching learning about new boxers. I don't have to tell them about Floyd Mayweather. I don't have to tell them about Pacquiao. But for some reason, Andre Ward, never heard of him. And you know what? It's not Andre Ward's fault. All he can do is fight and win. It's the promotional company that's behind him that's fucking up. They're garbage. Their website is garbage. These tickets are being sold at as low as $25 and as high as $200. This is bullshit. This is one of the best boxers in the world. I just think it's stupid. I think it's stupid. Maybe if he was Russian, and he really doesn't make that much money because he doesn't get pay-per-view buys in America. Okay, I get it, but no, he's an American Olympian, a gold medalist. There's no reason why an American being signed to, having fights here in America should, especially an Olympian like Andre Ward, undefeated, seems to be invincible, especially in his weight class. I don't see how he is not easily marketed. He should be able to market himself. But, it's obvious that his promotional company is holding him back. That's the one thing that I wanted to point out. To me, that's even a bigger disgrace and a bigger embarrassment than the, Edwin Rodriguez not showing up at the weight he was supposed to show up at. I think the fact that Andre Ward is not being promoted the way he should is a much bigger issue, and it should be a much bigger issue to Andre Ward. This is bullshit. So shame on Goossen Tutor Promotions. Shame on them. Shame on them. I can understand if it was someone else on their roster. I can understand if this stage was for a Josecito Lopez fight. But I seen Marcos Maidana and Josecito Lopez was a bigger stage than this fight. This is ridiculous. So let me jump into, I'm sorry for the rant, but I'm going to jump into Andre Ward and Edwin Rodriguez prediction video. So Andre Ward he's undefeated. So is Edwin Rodriguez. He's also undefeated. It seems like they, on paper, are evenly matched. You have Andre Ward, who has 26 wins, 14 by KO, no losses, no draws. You got Edwin Rodriguez, 26 wins, 16 by KO, no losses, no draws. Edwin Rodriguez is a strong puncher. He sits on his punches. He comes forward and is aggressive. He tends to get sloppy when he's frustrated. Whenever he gets stunned by a jab that stops him in his place, he gets frustrated and he responds trying to counter with a hook that he throws from his grandma's house. I mean, he telegraphs his punches to the point where a blind man can see him. So, and the problem with that is that not just is that something that he does consistently when he tries to throw a punch with power. It's also the fact that he doesn't set up his punches properly. His feints, when he's trying to feint his way into position and try to set up a punch with a jab or really try to box, he tends to lose track of what he's doing, and he can't take advantage of a lot of openings, and if he gets frustrated, instead of trying to set up a punch, he just tries to force the punch through. He does have power and he can do that, but in my opinion, you're gonna need that with a combination of some a strong jab and an intelligent way of boxing Andre Ward if you want to compete with Andre Ward, because one thing with Andre Ward is he's not just technical, but he adapts to you. So if he needs to move around and use the rest of the ring, he will. If he can handle you while on the inside, he'll corner you and he'll put pressure on you. He adapts really well. He can do anything. He doesn't really do anything spectacular, but he does everything well. He's well-rounded. Probably one of the most well-rounded boxers out there. As later in the fight, by the third, fourth round, he becomes more effective and he becomes more active. So that's when Ward is really the most dangerous. Between fourth round and 10th round, he's the most dangerous, because by then either he's figured you out or he's bound to figure you out within those rounds, and that's when he really becomes not just effective but accurate. A lot of people have been questioning Andre Ward's power, so I think that Andre Ward, now that he has a healthy shoulder, is going to try to show everybody what kind of power he really does have. And this is an exciting fight. It's an exciting fight, but I have Andre Ward winning. He's the obvious better boxer, and he seems to have not just the advantage as far as boxing. How do I say this? A technical boxing base. He is very technical, and that's his base. That's what he tends to do. He tends to fight a very technical fight. But he can, like I said, he can adjust. If you want to exchange with him, he's more than happy and more than willing to exchange with you. And he's really, really, really strong offensively when he does. So that's one of the dangers with Andre Ward is I see him outclassing Edwin Rodriguez no matter where they take this fight, whether they leave this fight on the outside or they take it on the inside. I think Andre Ward is going to outschool Edwin Rodriguez, from corner to corner in that ring. This is my prediction, and again, I want to make it again. I wanted to hear it from you guys. Do you guys feel like this fight was promoted correctly? Isn't this bothering anybody, or is it just me? Am I just really reading into something that isn't there? But when I saw the stage, that really shined on me. I mean, I saw the stage, I saw the banner. The banner, half the banner was dedicated to I think it was Toyota, and the other half of the banner was dedicated to Andre Ward, and the banner itself isn't a big banner at all. To me, it just seems like there's not enough investment. Andre Ward is not being invested into as much as in my opinion, he deserves. I think he would do much better with another company, but that's hearsay. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? This is Aztec 101 in the ring. Let me know. Who do you guys think is going to win the fight? What do you guys think about Edwin Rodriguez coming in 2 pounds overweight? And how do you guys feel about Andre Ward and Goossen Promotional Companies? Goossen Tutor Promotions. Goossen Tutor Promotions. I'm misreading it. How do you guys feel about that? Is this something that is an issue? Do you guys even care? I mean, in my opinion, I want to see more Andre Ward fights, but I also want to see Andre Ward be able to retire with these fights. I don't want to see Andre Ward at 40 years old trying to box because he can't fucking pay his mortgage. I don't want to see that shit. That should be avoided. So this is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm out.